Hello everyone, this is James, the Juicing Monk, and this is day one of my 100-day juice feast. And you may ask, why on earth are you going to be juicing fruits and vegetables for the next 100 days? Well, it's a simple answer. Roughly 10 years ago, my mother passed away from bowel cancer. I wasn't feeling all that great myself, and whilst my mum was suffering in hospital and receiving all these treatments, I started to do my own personal research because I wasn't happy with the way that the pharmaceutical, medical, surgical industry was treating her, and I decided to do my own research online and see if there were any other approaches which could help her. And basically what came up over and over again was that raw fruits and vegetables were a fabulous way to potentially resolve many significant health problems. So I started researching this. Unfortunately, my mother passed away 12 months later, before I had been able to study enough and have enough understanding to be able to help her. But after she passed away, suddenly I started to think, because obviously, like I mentioned just now, I wasn't feeling that fantastic myself. A few of the issues I'd had were, every now and then I would get a little pang in my heart. Just a little, it wasn't particularly painful, but I knew from family history and friends of mine with their parents who lived a similar lifestyle to I had done, that everybody was, lots and lots of people are suffering from heart disease, especially when they get into their 50s and 60s, sometimes before that. And I just felt as though these little pangs in my heart, I just felt, you know, if I continued doing what I was doing, they were going to develop into, become progressively worse until eventually I'm going to end up with some heart disease. And so all this studying I'd done to help my mother, I transferred across and thought to myself, I better be doing this myself. So I started, about 10 years ago, I started to get into the idea that eating a healthy diet could have a significant impact on your health. And I felt that if I ate a healthy diet, it would potentially help me to feel a lot better than I was feeling. Apart from the problem with the heart, I also had another problem where a few times a month I would feel in my lower left calf, it just felt like there was a little blockage or a little narrowing of an artery, something like that. Because I had this aching pain deep inside my left calf. Again, not particularly painful. It wasn't even that worrying, but I just sensed this is the start of things getting worse. I would have 2 or 3 times a year, I would have a back which would just kind of slip out. You know, it would be like a slipped disc or a pinched nerve. And I literally couldn't do anything for 2 or 3 days. And that happened, you know, 2 or 3 times a year. I played a lot of sport, but I sensed it wasn't because of the sport. It was something else going on there. I put on some weight. I would have preferred to be lighter. So if I was going to change my diet and become healthier, if that meant I was going to lose weight at the same time, I felt that was going to be beneficial. I would get the flu, you know, a couple of times a year, like everybody else. I had an uncomfortable right hip, partly from playing rugby when I was younger, an injury that I'd got then. I had also just around from the hip to the lower right-hand side of my back, I had another long-term sort of stress injury, I thought, which was from playing a lot of tennis when I was younger. And I didn't have the energy that I used to have. If I went out for a few hours with a bunch of friends and had, you know, a couple of beers, maybe at lunchtime on a Saturday afternoon or something, you know, at 5 o'clock in the evening I was tired and wanted to go back and have a nap. Whereas obviously when I was younger, I was like, come on, now I've got to get ready to go out in the evening. So, and I was just aware of this general lack of desire lack of vibrancy compared to when I was younger. And I didn't feel as though it was necessarily due to my age. I had this inkling that it was probably related to my diet. So, that's the basic history, how I got into studying about a healthy diet. It seemed to lead me to raw fruits and vegetables seemed to be the one area where there were so many of these healings and improvements, blood pressure reducing, heart disease reducing, energy levels increasing. And then there are also some miraculous stories of complete recovery from heart disease, complete recovery from cancer. And largely I found that it was the people who were eating the raw fruits and vegetables got all these huge benefits. Anyway, so that was 10 years ago. I've been jumping in and out, eating raw completely raw, 100% raw fruits and vegetables for 8 months, for 3 months, multiple times for 1 or 2 months, juicing, water fasting, then eating what's called the starch solution, and Rortal 4, and all kinds of different combinations of those. And the bottom line is that my body and my inner being told me that raw fruits and vegetables, that was the best for me. No question. I loved the starch solution and Rortal 4. Absolutely loved it because it means I can go out and live a normal social life, go out to restaurants, enjoy my life, just have a fantastic time, almost be like a normal person. Whereas when you're eating only raw fruits and vegetables, it's not so easy to go to a pizza restaurant and, you know, what do you eat? You know, it's a process, and over the last 10 years I've reached a point where now I feel certain that raw fruits and vegetables is the route I want to go down. To jumpstart that, I am going to be doing a 100-day juice feast, starting from today. This is day 1. Why? Well, because in my experience, I've done many juice feasts before and many water fasts before. My experience is that it sets you up very nicely for moving into a raw fruits and vegetables diet. Why? Well, one big factor is I've never been a big fan on raw fruits and vegetables. Not particularly. I mean, a couple of mangoes, if they're really tasty, wonderful. Some strawberries, fabulous. Some grapes, some cherries, melon, wonderful. But not all day, every day, day after day. But what I discovered when I did my water fasting and juice feasting was that after I'd done an extended fast of, you know, when I say extended, I'm talking 30 days or longer. After I'd finished the fast, my instincts would be, wow, fruit and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables sound awesome. And the reason I believe for that is that the fasting cleans out your system. You can tell that because during the fast, what you'll find is that you'll have significant bowel movements, even though you're not eating any food. You're not taking on board any fibre. You're only taking on board raw fruits and vegetable juices. And yet, what I have found, especially with juice feasting, not so much water fasting, you have significant bowel movements for the entire time that you're juicing without eating any solid food. And this makes you feel so much lighter over time, and you can sense a detoxification going on inside the arteries, inside the veins, inside the heart, the liver, the gallbladder, the kidneys. You can just sense it, you can feel everything freeing up, because as each day passes you feel lighter, but you also feel stronger, more vibrant, you can think more clearly, you just feel better. You don't, the moods, you know, if you're someone who's tends to get a little bit of depression at times, or get down on yourself, or you're tired and a bit miserable sometimes, try a juice feast for 30 days or longer. Those moods will go away. If after the juice feast or the water fast you then go back to eating the way that you were, standard American diet, I call it, sad diet, it won't be long before those moods, darker moods come back and you don't feel so well and the energy levels drop off. But during the juice feast, you feel better and better as the days go by. Lighter and lighter, better and better, stronger and stronger, more and more happy, more and more positive, more and more vibrant. So that's the reason I'm doing the 100-day juice feast. Why 100 days? Because that really resets the clock. I mean, that cleans you out and gives you a fabulous place to start on a raw fruits and vegetables diet. So that's all for now. This is day 1 of my juice feast, and what I intend to do is do a once a week update until the end of the 100 days. So I can show you what juices I drink, how I make it, how I'm feeling in the process. I'm also going to show you some vital statistics, so just the things I can easily measure at home, which would be blood pressure, hydration level, body fat percentage, and weight primarily, and probably pulse rate as well. I can measure those 5 very easily, and it gives you, a very good indicator of, because they're all basically going to drop, as you see, over the next 100 days, and corresponding to those drop in those figures, I will be feeling better and better. I know this because I've done enough juice feasts in the past to know. But I wanted to share it with others. So that's it for today. The little ditty says, take care until the next video.